All right, my friends, how you doing out there? It's the Oz Man. The other day I got a request from one of my viewers asking me to do a cold start on the Harley. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm actually taking the bike to get some service done on it. So I thought, hey, this would be a good opportunity to do a cold start. Now I have done cold starts in the past. So if you watch some of my older videos, you'll see that I do a lot of cold starts actually. But maybe this viewer did not see those videos, so I'm going to do it today. Also, there was a water leak here. One of the pipes burst. So the area where I parked my bike got all kind of a little bit flooded. I wouldn't say flooded, but there was it was in a puddle of water, my friends. So I'm gonna do a little sweeping. So you're gonna see me sweeping and do a cold start. So it should be an exciting video. And then I'm headed down to get some service done on the bike. So let's have some fun, huh? Okay, so before I start the bike up, I have to do some cleaning over here. So let me show you what's going on. So I don't know if you can see, if the camera's picking it up, but look at all that dirt and grime. That was water. Here's a little bit of the water still left over. So, I don't want my bike parked somewhere where it's all dirty. I mean, it's a Harley. So I'm gonna do some sweeping. And you can enjoy the magic of me sweeping the dirt. I know, my friends, that's exciting. That's exciting footage right there. Exciting content. But anyway, look how clean it is now. Look at this, huh? Look at that. Much nicer. I left the water there. I'm gonna let that evaporate. But way nicer. Anyway, let's start this bike and let's start the ride down to my mechanic. Of a rough start there. I might have to have that battery charged or re-looked at a little bit. I don't know. I rode it the other day. It started up fine, but right now it seemed like a little bit of a rough start. So anyway, luckily I'm taking it to the mechanic right now. I'll have him check the battery. All right, my friends. So as you can see, I'm cruising on down the road here. So I'm on my way to my motorcycle mechanic just to do the usual service that the bike needs. Oil change and checking the brakes and all that fun stuff. But when I started up the bike, had that little cold start, I noticed it struggled a bit, like it didn't turn over right away. Later I spoke to my mechanic and we both kind of came to the conclusion that the charging system was working fine, but the battery needed to be replaced. I'm almost at my mechanic, so I'm almost there to get it serviced. I'm here in, what city is this? I don't know, South LA somewhere. Actually, I think it's Hawthorne. little ride down here. Not too much traffic, which is always shocking in Los Angeles. But by some miracle, traffic was light. I don't know, we're coming up to the weekend. Usually it's pretty busy on the weekends, but I guess I lucked out. Right now, well, maybe it's because it's kind of early in the day, possibly. But anyway, I'm always glad when I don't have too much traffic, because then I can enjoy the ride a lot more. All right, I'm here. So let me go check in with my mechanic and see what he says. How's everybody doing out there? It's the Oz Man. Testing out the new WESCO, the new tall boots. I wanted to come out in the daylight, so I came out to this park so I can walk around them a bit, break them in. I'm gonna actually go out to like a party on the weekend, but it's going to rain. That's what they say. And also the party's at nighttime, so I'm not sure you're going to be able to see the full boots in full action. So I wanted to come out and show you a little bit. So let me do some posing real quick here. Alright, so I hope you can see the boots. These are the brand new WESCO 18-inch Engineer Boss boots. Let me walk down to, I'm seeing if I can find some other place that might be interesting background to walk around these boots in. The park is always an interesting place to be walking around. Saturday I'm picking up my motorcycle, but I think I'm going to wear my old WESCOs, because these boots are still pretty stiff. Even just walking around, the ankle is still pretty tight, and I don't want to have any restrictions when I'm riding the bike. And last time when I first bought my WESCOs, I remember I did do a lot of walking in them before I actually started taking them on the bike. So I'm going to do that with this. Even now I was driving my car, and just getting on the gas and the brake was a party right there, my friends. But anyway, let's see here. I'm trying to find some place kind of cool that has an interesting background. Let me see what I can find. All right, found another little location here. So let me put this thing up on the table here. All right. So hopefully you can see the boots. It's a little overcast, unfortunately. Let me bring this down a little bit. Little overcast here in Los Angeles. Our storm's coming. But I wanted to show you the boots in the daylight, because you know, last time when I showed them to you it was in my apartment in the darkness. Let me bring this down a bit. So I wanted to give you a little bit more of a daylight view. And I'm actually on my way to Home Depot, so I thought, hey, you know, this would be a good opportunity to bust out the tall boots and, you know, show you what they look like in better lighting. You know, they are pretty comfortable. They're still a little stiff here because obviously they haven't been broken in the ankle. So like when, you know, even when I'm driving, to go back and forth with the foot and the brake, you know, I got to be a little careful, because these boots have a tendency to get really heavy on the accelerator, on the pedal, if you know what I mean. So anyway, hopefully you like them. I'm glad I was able to do a little daytime magic out here. I know I've had a few requests for people who want me to wear more leather and the glove, my leather gloves and stuff like that. And I will be doing that at a later date. I could have maybe done it today, but I was more concerned about just focusing on the boots, giving you a nice tall view of the tall boots without any restrictions. So I'm here at this park. Usually it's pretty crowded, but I guess today, maybe because it's a little overcast, it's not too busy. Let me put this thing down. That's too high for the boots here. Oh, we'll use this over here. I also had a request from one of my viewers, wanted me to do more like a role-playing thing where I pretend to be a policeman and wear my tall boots and stuff. Not too sure about the whole role-playing thing. I'll give it some consideration. I'm not saying I won't do it. But you know, that's a big thing to you know, all of a sudden say, let me do the whole role-playing thing. There's actually a YouTuber who, I think his name is Leather and Rubber, or Rubber and Leather or something like that. And he dresses up all the langlets, the whole leather thing. He doesn't really talk. I think he might be French. But if you really want to see like a guy all in leather, then I would recommend checking him out. But yeah, the boots still feel pretty good, I gotta tell you. The only thing is the ankles are stiff, and right here there's a little bit of pressure right there. But overall, feeling pretty good. Get a little dirt on the little dirt on the front of the boots there. First dirt of the riding season. Well, I haven't actually ridden, but first dirt on the new boots. I'm going to take these boots, you know, hopefully pretty soon on the bike. But like I said, this weekend I'm picking up my motorcycle. I had to leave it in the shop. It needed a new battery and it needed some service. I'm going to pick it up this weekend, but they say it might rain. But in any case, I'm probably going to pull out the old WESCOs for that one. The old WESCO tall boots, the harness, the classic, the vintage, if you will. But I did want to definitely give you guys a little bit of the tall boots in the daylight. I never have good lighting. I always watch these YouTubers, they have amazing lighting. I'm like, wow, where do the people get this money for all this lighting? I don't know, it's like they get their own little you know, studio or something. There's a woman who dresses up in latex and her whole place looks beautiful. And I'm like, I need to get that. But anyway, this is a little crooked, this one. this table is not exactly stable. But here, let me move that here. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. So anyway, WESCO tall boots, 18-inch. I'm not going to go through why it's the greatest boot ever. You can just watch my other video for that. But yeah, great boots. Looking forward to getting them on the bike and seeing how they act on the motorcycle. Oh, someone's sneezing over there. But let me walk back to the car. All right, clouds are coming in. So anyway, I am planning to take these boots out to my first kind of clubbing experience this coming weekend, even though it might rain. And I might even record a little bit of that, but it's going to be at night. And I really wanted to show you guys the boots in the daylight, because, you know, the lighting was so lame on my last video. Even though now the days are short, see, it's right now the sun's going down basically, and it's like, you know, 3 o'clock. So, you know, the time change, winter, what are you gonna do, my friends? But it's actually a pretty good time to get the WESCOs because you know, they're tall boots, they can handle the weather, the rain, all that kind of stuff. The only thing bad about wearing tall boots in the rain, if you ever do decide to go out in the rain with tall boots, that might be the one time you want to put your pants over the boots, Because if you keep your pants tucked in like I usually do, and I usually recommend, the problem is if your pants get really, really wet because it's raining so hard, the water on your pants will seep through into the boots, and then you're going to find yourself all of a sudden with water inside your boots because the pants have basically squeezed out the water into your boots. So that has happened to me a couple of times. So if you are wearing tall boots and it starts to rain, especially if it rains heavily, I would highly recommend that you in that one occasion, I would recommend that you put your pants over your boots, because otherwise you might end up getting home and you know, you got a little mini pool in your inside your boot. Anyway, I gotta still go to Home Depot. This is my next stop, and then head back home. So this I'm gonna just connect this part of the video with another part. I might even throw in a little bit of the Philippines. I went to the Philippines and rode with the HOG riders about a month ago. So I'm thinking about maybe actually 2 months ago. So I want to include that in with this video. So, but anyway, one more little view of the boots. Okay. All right, my friends, on to the next part of this video. I'm not sure if this will be more on the new boots or if I'm going to be throwing the Philippine stuff right now, but just stay tuned. All right, my friends, I'm here at Manila Harley-Davidson. What is this, Green Hill?
Yes,
Green Hill. I'm doing a little video with my new friend, Mark.
Yeah. Green Hills, Philippines.
He's from Washington originally.
DC born, lived in Maryland most of my life, and also lived in Virginia.
He also has a brother in Norwalk. So
Three brothers. One brother in Norwalk, one brother in Long Beach, and another brother in Corona right now. He's in Yorba Linda.
So would you say I should move to the Philippines immediately?
Take your time. Yeah, take your time. Visit as much as possible. Don't commit, you know, with anything.
If I move to the Philippines, should I join the HOG chapter here? Would you say?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
I'm going on this little rally. It's going to be a pretty good ride. It's going to be short for me. These guys are going all over the Philippines, but I'm just going to, not the Philippines, Manila, but I'm just going to do lunch and then head out back to BGC. But anyway, that's the group right there. Good video. We're supposed to have a police escort, so we'll see how that goes.
By the way, this is my bike. It's a Harley Sportster. That's what I rented for my short time here for this little ride. So far, so good. Pretty sweet looking, huh? So a lot of cool bikes. This guy actually has a road glide. Could you imagine having a road glide here in Manila? But he does. So a lot of cool bikes. We're going to be going out to eat and see the sights. By the way, this is the traffic that I had to ride to get here. Let me tell you, it ain't easy making it through Manila traffic on a Sportster Harley. All right, we're about to head out.
We're about to head out, my friends. If I can get to my bike. my friends. The ride finally got to its lunch location. It's humid as hell out here, and it was a crazy ride through Manila, but I made it. So we're gonna get this restaurant, Crossing Cafe, the Crossing Cafe in a city called Cavite. Anyway, here's the crowd. Same big group. Look at that. All the bikes out there. They even brought cameramen. These people are serious. Ooh. Huge group. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting some food because I'm hungry. So let's see what this place has to say. All right, we just finished wrapping up having some lunch here. Pretty good place, you know, very cool. Apparently this is some nice, I don't know, a community that was planned, a planned community. So I guess from what I've been told, this is somewhat of an upper scale neighborhood. It looks nice, a lot of green. It looks pretty cool. Looks like something you'd see maybe on your way to, I don't know, maybe Santa Barbara, something like that. Anyway, it wasn't a super long ride, but I wanted just to get a taste of riding in Manila, and I got a taste. So I'm going to be heading back, dropping off the motorcycle to the rental place. You know, it was a good bike. It took care of me. You know, I'm used to a road glide, but you know, it was good. Took a good steed. And anyway, I'll be back in LA soon. All right, my friends, it's the Oz Man. Well, I just picked up my bike. Look at that. Looking stylish. And they did a lot of work, man. They put some new LEDs on the front of this puppy right there. Some LEDs right there. They, you know, did all the fluids change. They put new spark plugs. Yeah, they just did new springs on the clutch. I mean, they did a lot of work. So I'm very happy with my mechanic. He did a great job. I just rode the bike back home. It's running strong, running good. It's a little cold here in Los Angeles, but you know, still a good ride. And I'm hoping to get out and do some riding next weekend, I should say. All right, my friends. Well, I got interrupted there a little bit. A couple people saw me getting off the bike and everything, and they want to chit chat. Some of my neighbors. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video. It's been a strange one. You know, you saw me dropping off the bike. You saw a little bit of the new WESCO tall boots. Of course, some Philippine stuff. Philippines is a great country. I really think I might be moving there in the future. We'll see. I'm gonna plan another trip there pretty soon. I do have other videos of the Philippines. I don't put them on the channel here just because they're not boot related or motorcycle related or anything like that. So I'm not sure how many people would want to just see me go on hang out in the Philippines. But if you do, let me know. What else do we have here? Or you saw me dropping out, bringing back the bike. So I'm going to wrap up this video today. The next video, I'm hoping to be more about the new WESCO tall boots that I just bought. You know, maybe showing them off a little bit more. When I looked at the video from the park that I was just at, I still noticed, even though I was outside, those boots are so black, they're so dark, they're so black as night, that even in the daylight, they didn't really show that much detail. So I need to go take them out one day in the daytime when it's like high noon and it's super bright, so you can get the full effect. But anyway, that's for a future video. Until next time, my friends, ride like the wind, don't let that wind ride you, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.